From inside State Farm Arena, where the Boston Celtics just fell to the Atlanta Hawks 108-92, I am Josue Pavon, and the Celtics are back to 500. Ime Udoka, I mean, look, before this game, he talked about how this Celtics team, sure, they won 2 games in a row, but that's not quite a winning streak. And sure, this team is playing well lately, but they're still at 500. Or 1 game above. Now they're back at 500 after losing this one to a very good Atlanta Hawks team. I mean, let's face it, defensively, they held their own. And the Celtics couldn't respond in the second half, and the 17-2 run by the Hawks was the big reason for that. The Hawks now stretched their winning streak to 6 games in a row. Jaylen Brown took a lot of the blame after the game. He talked about how he thought that he was passing the ball when he should have shot it, and he was shooting the ball when he should have passed it down the stretch. And Ime Udoka talked about how they kind of got away from spreading the ball around and was not too happy about too much hero ball out there, which of course sort of coincided with what Jaylen Brown had to say moments after during his media availability. Now the Celtics, they can't dwell on this one for long. I mean, on the second night of a back-to-back in New Orleans, they have to keep it moving and hope to put forth a better effort in the second half. Let's just put it that way, right? I mean, down the stretch, it felt like the Celtics just couldn't stop the bleeding. And I got to give credit to the Hawks because a lot of the times when guys like Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown were attacking the rim, there was a rim protector waiting for them. And when he tried to pass it out, whether it was Tatum or Brown, it led to turnovers. And of course, that was something else that Ime Udoka also talked about after the game. Timely turnovers. And Jaylen Brown, of course, agreed with that. So the Celtics are going to have to turn things around in New Orleans and get back to their winning ways, so to speak, after those 2 impressive back-to-back wins, of course, that had Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum written all over it. Now, Tatum, he went 0 for 7 to start in the first quarter, got into it with the officials, turned it back around, finished with a plus 20 in scoring. But, of course, when it came down to key execution, it was the Atlanta Hawks completely taking control of this one. Again, that 17-2 run was the difference in the fourth quarter. And at the end of the day, the way the Celtics were playing on offense, I mean, it was really hard for them to buy a bucket. But they managed to get the Hawks into foul trouble. I thought that was a good opportunity for the Celtics to sort of pick up some momentum. But, of course, that wasn't the case. And this came down to the Hawks just essentially building off of the momentum, the 5 wins in a row heading into this one. And this crowd was, man, let me tell you, it felt like a club in here, man. You got the DJ going nuts. You got, the guys on the big screen going crazy. You know, I thought Jimmy Toscano brought up a good point in the Celtics postgame show about how, after Al left, Al had a couple of words to say about how there's a big difference between the Boston fans and the Hawks fans. Well, now seems like the Hawks fans are sort of taking that comment to heart because they bring it now at these games. Maybe it's not every single time, but against the Boston Celtics, that was certainly the case. And even though there were a good amount of Celtics fans in attendance, didn't make all the difference, of course, because again, that 17-2 run in the fourth quarter was the story here. Now, the fourth quarter, the Celtics have to figure out a way to play better down the stretch. Late game execution has been an ongoing issue this season. And now that the Celtics are going to New Orleans on the second night of a back-to-back, they're not going to have a whole lot of rest on top of a whole lot of dissecting this one. They're going to have to completely focus in right now on this 2-game road trip as all the fans back in Boston are going to be snowed in and hoping to see a win in New Orleans. And I hope to see the same when I make my way down there. Of course, you guys already know, right after the game, Celtics postgame show, we go live on YouTube, the CLNS Media channel, and of course, plenty of coverage on CLNS.com and on Twitter, of course, at CLNS and at Celtics CLNS. That's going to do it for me here in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena. I am Josue Pavon. Once again, the Celtics lose to the Hawks 108-92, and we'll see if they can turn things around when we head to New Orleans Saturday night.